Whenever referring to homosexuals, we often think of people with mental illness, people who are not normal past actors in society. They go isolated from society in which they live. Homosexuality is not evil. It's not easy to be accepted in our society. Today, many countries around the world look more open to homosexuals. The Netherlands is the first country to allow gay marriage in 2001. Later, other countries such as Belgium, Spain, Canada, South Africa, Norway, Sweden, Portugal, Iceland, Argentina, and the US state of Massachusetts, Connecticut, Vermont, New Hampshire, New York, along with Mexico City, also gay marriage. In 16 other countries, homosexual can be combined under civil law. Homosexuality is like sex. They can choose to be born. For homosexuals, the publicly acknowledged the sex always was the most formidable phase. Sometimes, the one in their family do not understand. There are two main forms of the homosexuality, which is the gay and lesbian. This is not a disease. That is one of the sex orientation, which is the center of the gay brain identified only as sexual object of the same sex. So, sexual orientation occurs due to chromosomal disorder, due to genetic or other reason. Homosexual and other oriented people physically refine the spirit, the different sexual orientation. Many scientists also say that doesn't have only two worlds and we used to know, which is the third world. So that we hope to bring to the reader some knowledge about homosexual marriage and student opinions on this issue today.
I'm sure you have heard about homosexuality. How much do you know about homosexuality? Homosexuality is romantic attraction, sexual attraction, or sexual behavior between members of the same sex or gender. As a sexual orientation, homosexuality is enduring partnership, emotional, romantic, and sexual attraction to people of the same sex. It also refers to a person's sense of identity based on the attraction, related behaviors, and membership in a community of others who share the attractions. Along with bisexuality and heterosexuality, homosexuality is one of the three main categories of sexual orientation within the heterosexual-homosexual continuum. Scientists don't know the exact cause of sexual orientation, but they believe that it is caused by complex interplay of genetic, hormonal, and environmental influences, and they don't view it as a choice. While some people believe that homosexual activity is unnatural, scientific research has shown that homosexuality is a normal and natural variation in human sexuality.
Social attitude toward homosexuality vary widely across culture and different periods in history, as well as attitude toward sexual desire, sexual behavior, and relationship in general. Each culture has its own sexual norm, in which some cultures enjoy love and homosexuality while others do not. As in heterosexuality, there are different rules depending on gender, age, class, and social class. For example, in modern Japan, for some rights, a teenager is encouraged to have sex with an older warrior, but the relationship between two males is not appropriate. Most cultures in the world view the sexuality of a reconciled relationship as the norm. Homosexual or sexual relationships are sometimes considered. Some religions, especially Abraham, condemn homosexual behavior and homosexuality, with many cases observed punishment. Since the 1970s, many parts of the world have begun to reconcile homosexuality among adults of all ages. The 2003 Global Attitude Survey of the Pew Research Center showed that Africa, and the Middle East are strongly against homosexuality, while people in Latin America like Mexico, Argentina, Bolivia, and Brazil are much more open. The European conception is between the West and the East. The majority of Western European countries in the poll said that society should accept homosexuality, while Russian, Poles, and Ukrainian objected. Americans divided into two groups: 51% of the supporters and 42% of the opposition. Social psychologists such as Dorothy Harris have looked at the cause of homosexuality and found that homosexuality is often thought to the link to AIDS, pedophilia, and sex change. The popularity of this thought is being debated. Researchers have now evaluated homosexual attitude toward homosexuality in various ways. More people recognize homosexuality than other groups. In the United States, African Americans are less open about homosexuality than white Americans.
Late 20th century, really the rise of marriage without legal recognition became increasingly common. The first law providing for marriage of people of the same sex in modern times was enacted in 2001 in the Netherlands. Gay people, they are falling in love, getting married, living happily ever after, or having kids. While not having kids in the conventional way, they might adopt or make use of surrogates or sperm donor, but their intimate behavior isn't conducive to reproduction. The fact that homosexual sex doesn't need to reproduction implies a code of non-individual firstness, defining non-evolutionary biological context as the individual's ability to reproduce and represent an evolutionary paradox. So why does natural selection not drive homosexuality to extinction? We must realize that being homosexual necessarily doesn't mean that you won't have any children and pass on your genes. Throughout history and even today, in many societies, homosexual activity was fiercely discouraged. Catholics, individuals with a preference for members of their own sex, have ventured into heterosexual marriage, keeping their homosexuality and associated activity a secret while raising a family, passing their genes on to next generation. But they will eliminate culture and look toward animals which still find plenty homosexual activity. From dog to lion to fruit fly, if a species has sex, members of that species have homosexual sex.
Since the 1970s, attitude toward homosexual and bisexuals have been studied. Many studies on the prevalence of accepting attitudes and objections show consistent results in each region or group. For example, many studies show that open-minded people with homosexuality tend to be one subgroup of people, as women, whites, young people have a good education. They also have an open attitude toward other minorities and often do not support the usual gender role. The number of studies on social attitudes toward bisexuality is much less. They compare the attitude of heterosexuals to heterosexuals and homosexuals and found similar levels of hate, stigma, and violence. In the aftermath of June 1916 attack on an LGBT nightclub in Orlando, Florida, the UN Security Council issued a statement condemning the targeting of persons based on their sexual orientation. This was the first time the United Nations took an official stance on LGBT discrimination and perhaps surprisingly, it garnered support from a number of countries that outlaw homosexuality, including Egypt and Russia. To something simplistic is not about civil rights. It actually boils down to validation and social approval. It's an attempt to put people to accommodate a lifestyle they might find morally wrong. Today, homosexual is broadly tolerated in this country, though it isn't universally accepted. Homosexuals have the liberty to live as they choose without fear of backlash.
The views of religion about homosexuality on religion originates from Abraham. Abrahamic religions such as Judaism, Christianity, and Islam are traditionally forbidden. Today, some of the religions accept homosexuality and homosexuality as Reform Judaism, United Church of Christ, and the General Church community. The Anglican and Anglican Church today welcome members who are gay. Judaism Reform allows same-sex marriage and homosexual marriage. Reconstructionist Judaism and conservative Judaism in the United States to allow gay and lesbian cleavage, gender contact. 2. Religion originated in India. Among the religions that originated in India, including Hinduism, Buddhism, Judaism, and Sikhism. Teachings on the issue of homosexuality are not technically as the Abrahamic religions. However, most of the current religion authorities in different traditions view homosexuality in the negative way, and when it is discussed, it is not encouraged or prohibited. 3. Religion originated in China. In East Asian religions, Taoism does not encourage homosexuality because it makes one fail to fulfill feminist mission. Confucian tradition do not deal with homosexuality.
Around the globe, from east to west, from a long time ago, there have already been many different views about gays. In Vietnam, when did the term homosexuality appear? How they recognized by law and society? According to research by ISEE, Vietnam has about 1.6 gay people at the age of 15 to 59. In the history of Vietnam, there are very few homosexuality cases recorded. During the Vietnam War, there were 18 gay bars in Saigon and 3 bars for lesbians. Currently, there are no laws banning gay sex in Vietnam, and the Marriage and Family Law was amended in 2014, which discontinues the ban on the marriage between same-sex couples in January 1, 2015. While some Vietnamese people that still toward homosexuality vary in different stigmatized degrees, and ignore discussing about this issue. There are only a small percentage of people who are open-minded with homosexuality, but many people consider homosexuality to be unusual or even morbid, because according to Confucianism, a man should marry and have children to take after the family descent. Some psychological counselors also advise people to stay calm, understanding and supportive when they find out that their friends or family members are homosexuality. Sex is something that comes from birth. No one can change it. If there is influence, then knowing how to respect the difference is the only one. At present, the law and the society are gradually more welcoming gay people. Each of us, when exposed to homosexual, should be more optimistic so that every individual in society can develop actually. The society can become better.